Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ray 2000 podcast. I'm here with Joe. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, folks?
Joe,
What's up?
are we in the video game cinematic renaissance?
That is a great question.
Are we finally here?
I would say this was like the softest. It's a soft opening. We're peeking through the curtains. For me, I don't think we have yet to have Spider-Man 2002. That makes sense.
Spider-Man, you mean Spider-Man 1?
Yeah, like we were very close, but I still don't think we have that. Okay, we're here, folks.
I don't know. Remember, okay, so you compared it to superheroes, right? The superhero genre, how it started,
Yeah.
which is a great example. I mean, everyone likes to point that out. Remember, we did have comic book movies before Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. We had like Blade and X-Men. We had Spawn and shit. Which I like to compare that to maybe like Sonic the Hedgehog movie
Hmm.
and Detective Pikachu. Those are like they're fine. Those like okay movies. I think we did do the 2001 Spider-Man Sam Raimi with the Super
Nope.
Mario Bros. Movie because
I mean,
what's the main thing people remember from that 2001 Spider-Man movie? Well, obviously the movie was awesome. Fuck yeah, the movie's great. But also it was a blockbuster, man. That movie came out, made money, and then Hollywood was just like, okay, superhero genre, money. All right, okay, let's do this. Like, what else is there? And we just got Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and the rest is history. This Super Mario Bros. Movie, I think it's like, yeah, from recording this video, we're almost to like a billion. I think
yeah.
it is like 900 million worldwide.
I'm gonna say it's gonna hit. It's gonna be It's gonna end around $1.3 billion. Yeah,
No, let me look it up. Keep going.
it's wildly successful. My only grievance with the movie is that it's not a good movie.
Ooh. Oh, we're getting into the review.
I wouldn't say it's not a good movie. It's an okay movie.
Yeah, let's give our thoughts on this movie. So me and Joe just finally watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie from Illumination. Oh, and I just looked it up. Yeah, 898 million. So
That's
almost there to a
worldwide.
billion.
Oh
That's
yeah,
worldwide. Worldwide.
yeah.
And it beat Frozen for domestically for opening weekend. So this is the fastest animated movie, box office movie, animated movie ever. Because Frozen 2 used to have the title. But yeah, me and Joe finally we just watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I watched it. I'm being honest, I watched it like the week of when it came out.
Took me a while to
This is
watch it.
it took Joe a minute.
It's funny because I went to the theaters and I saw it literally in this massive theater by myself. there was
Smooth.
no there was no one in the theater. And so like it was supremely awkward. I don't know what it was. Like this was my first time ever going to watch a movie by myself with an empty theater. And the movie just ends and I'm kind of there just sitting there waiting for the
Mhm,
credits and I'm like,
mhm.
okay, I guess I'll leave.
Let's give our thoughts. What did you think of the Super Mario Bros. Movie?
I think the movie is beautiful, like gorgeous. The animation, even the voice acting is good. Like everything about this movie, it's just the plot of the movie was so razor thin that I can't say that it's a good movie. It's a good movie for kids, obviously, and that's another thing that we have to kind of like. I know a lot of critics are getting fucking shit thrown their way because they're reviewing the movie as a movie, and so many people are like, it's Mario and it's a kids movie, and like yeah, but at the same time, like there's kids movies that have themes, good storylines, good plot points. This movie is so devoid of that. It just fucking goes and doesn't stop. Mario has literally no conflicts. Like he just kind of like goes through the motions in this movie. I don't know. For me, it's like it's what's funny is in this movie there are moments where I'm like, oh my god, you're building towards a theme and it just doesn't get to the finish line. But overall, I thought the movie was good. I wish it was better. You know, they played it
Uh,
extremely safe.
yeah, I agree a lot of what you just said. Totally. Yeah, I think this is the most beautiful. This is the best looking Illumination movie they've ever done, and their movies don't look so great. I've never been a fan of any of their movies. I'm not a fan of Minions or Secret Life of Pets or whatever. But I think myself and a lot of people included when Nintendo announced they're working with Illumination to make the Super Mario Bros. Movie, we are all like, oh no, these people are the kings of like toilet humor and
Yeah.
just lowbrow stuff. That I was like, oh man, how my I was just getting ready to see a fart joke somewhere in Donkey Kong or something like that. Man, I'm so glad I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. But no, yeah, absolutely. This animation was great. I love it's the one. This is the best animated movie they've ever done. Yeah, the voice acting did not bother me at all. There's never a moment it took me out of the movie. I was like, what the? I think everyone was on point. The breakouts were obviously Luigi and Don. I actually did like Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. Some people are like, "Wah." No, I think they were great. Oh, and of course, Jack Black's Bowser. Jack Black's Bowser is like the MVP.
Yeah.
The only one I guess I was like, and I've seen some people say this, and I agree, is Cranky Kong. Cranky Kong's voice doesn't sound what I thought Cranky Kong would sound like. He just kind of sounds
Yeah.
like a person, which is funny because he's played
Completely agree.
by, yeah, he's a comedian, right?
Yeah, he's like known for doing like
Yeah, like,
different voices. I'm almost shocked how like
yeah.
yeah,
If
you're
you ever
absolutely
seen him in interviews too, he could care. If you see him in interviews talking about this movie, he could. It sounds like he can care less about being in the Mario movie, but I think maybe his kids or somebody really likes it. But his voice was the only one I was like, not like bad or anything. It's not like what the hell.
not
But
bad, but it like was not
it
the
does
voice
take.
that I pictured for Cranky Kong for sure.
Yes, definitely, definitely. But yeah, voice acting was totally fine. Oh, we'll talk about this later. But the fucking music is 10 out of 10. Like the music in this
That's
movie
what I
is
was
one of
gonna
the.
say.
Oh my god, I want to get to that
I
later though, because I definitely want to have
do
a whole
you?
thing about
Because I
that. But
kind of want to talk. It's not only the soundtrack though. It's
well, I wanted to
the
talk about the writing because that's what you brought up.
yeah. But let's talk about the goods. I feel like the good should be
Well, let me
highlighted
let me let me
first.
just finish my blanket statement of
Yeah,
the
go for it.
review then. So piggyback what you said, I absolutely agree. The writing for this movie and the pacing of it is just moving and moving and moving. We move really fast in this movie, and characters are just kind of doing things just to do for the plot, you know. And I get it. Like a lot of people said, it's a kids movie. Don't worry. Like, come on, just Mario needs to save his brother. Good night, everybody. You know. But like everyone said, and like you said, there are animated movies out there you could tell really good, compelling, like deep emotional story, like the Lego movie or any of the Pixar movies. And this movie just, yeah, like you said, it's incredibly safe. It's just like okay story. But no, I absolutely disagree with the critics. There are some critics out there that are ripping this movie a new one and literally say I understand some of the critiques of like the story being thin and not so like well paced, but some critics are out there ripping this movie a new one, saying like you would have to be a kid to enjoy this movie. Nothing makes sense and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh my god, dude, like who fucking shit in your cereal? It's like a kids movie. It's about Mario. Like I know exactly what they were experiencing. They couldn't care less about Mario. Like nobody cared, and their kids love Mario, and they're watching this movie, and they just don't get it. They're watching it, and they just don't get it. And I'm looking at
Yeah.
it like because this movie was made for Mario fans and kids. You know what I mean? No one's gonna appeal to like oh we gotta make sure 60-year-olds get this movie. What the fuck? Nobody cares about like so how they it's a kids it's Mario movie, you know?
But that's another thing. It's like I'm all for fan service, and there's a lot of it. Like there's a lot of Easter eggs here that were so good to like as a Mario fan. But you have to base it off completely as a film by itself. If you strip away all the fan service and all that stuff.
Of course.
But yeah, some people are going pretty ruthless with it.
You want to talk about the music.
Yeah, let's talk about the good because I do want to talk about like we'll start in the good and then we'll gravitate towards the bad.
Okay.
But yeah, the music is incredible. Like not only the music, the soundtrack, but the music choices that they did. Like when they're in Brooklyn and they're playing Beastie Boys, oh my! I was like, what? That is like the greatest. Like what the hell? That's such a great song choice.
They
I'm
got
telling you the yeah,
go. No, go ahead.
the first act of this movie is my favorite. I will say though, as good as the music is, it's almost I don't know. I don't know if I want to say this because the kid in me has like died or something. But
Mhm.
some of the music is just so loud and bombastic, and like yeah, there's some themes in there that you remember from like there's some music playing, but like sometimes it's almost too much because they're like cutting different songs from like different Mario games. I don't know if I like this, if it's too much, you know what I'm saying? You get what I mean?
Absolutely. I know you like the Beastie Boys, and I know that's your era and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love Beastie Boys too. I love the score for this movie, where characters are just, it's like just in the background, and you're hearing it while characters are talking and everything. Like when they go to the sewers, and you're hearing and you could hear it faintly, but it's like a movie score in the background when they're in the sewers. I'm like, oh, it's fantastic. Or when they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're literally hearing like Super Mario World music, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
That
dun, dun, dun. You're like hearing it really faintly in the back, but it's like the music score. I love that shit. I mean, as you know me, I love my fucking video game music. So all those little music scores and sound effects and everything. Oh my god, that actually is like fucking love that shit. Not a fan of these random '80s songs choices.
what? All right, so
Illumination loves listen. Illumination
we are
loves to do these.
completely split on this. That's so funny. I'm not
Illumination
a
loves to
fan of.
do this in their movies, and they love to put these random 80s soundtracks in their movies, and it feels such a dated. This is a kids movie, and they're putting like "I Need a Hero" where Peach is like running
No,
around. It's like,
you can
why the
leave, sir.
fuck would they put this? And
You can leave,
like
sir. That
that's
was.
so old. That's like
Oh
so
my
we're
god,
so past that. Like, oh my god.
it's so
I was
funny
not a fan of
because
it. I was not a fan. I
we
was
are
just like,
we are.
well, because you could. It's the Mario music. Like, what music is more iconic than Mario music? So you could have put some badass fucking Koji Kondo music in there or some shit. But they put these 80s soundtrack, and I'm like, oh no, pulled me completely out of the movie.
So funny because we're completely opposites. Like I like the actual song choices, but I wasn't that big a fan of the constantly putting in Mario music. And it wasn't even like I agree. Like the being in the sewers and hearing the faint underground song,
Mhm.
that was great. But it's like the intercutting between different songs into a score I thought was just too much. I was like, if you're gonna stick to a song, stick to a song. But they're splicing together different sounds from different soundtracks from the games and trying to make it sound cohesive. And I'm like, no, I'm like, this is too much. Like my brain can't take it.
Oh, you mean
Uh,
like it's in like for Mario games? Like they're
yeah,
like
like
it's
it's
like
not.
one game. Oh, I get
It's
okay. I agree with you on that. I know what you're talking about. They
it's
literally
yeah,
spliced in like Mario Bros. 3 music with world music and
yeah,
then like
exactly.
64 music. Like, wait a minute.
It's funny because I would love to hear what people think about it who aren't Mario fans, and there's probably like maybe 3 people on the earth who know that who have this opinion because
Yeah,
everyone's
they
played
all live
Mario.
on the same rock.
Yeah, they refuse to play Mario,
Oh, like we
but
call them Sonic fans.
and they all live under a rock. That's hilarious. But like, for example, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, but
Here we
the
go.
Mario Kart song playing during the Mario Kart sequence when they're in the garage, it's like
Oh yeah, what did they play?
they play the
Oh,
music, the intro when you're selecting a car. I think.
you mean the sound effects?
No. They're actually playing the Mario Kart theme
Are you
song or
sure?
something. Yeah.
I could have sworn it was another 80s song when they're going. Oh no, I'm thinking of when that Kong is driving them through the. What song was that?
No, it's the second they get into the garage, they're playing the Mario Kart song, and I'm like,
What's the
okay,
Mario Kart song? I forgot.
like at this, I was like, at this point, I get it, you know.
You sound like it sounds like you're not a fan of Mario.
I'm
What is
coming in
your
with yeah, I'm coming
so
in
it's like
hot, baby.
I
I'm
get
coming in hot.
I can kind of understand what you're trying to say, but you're essentially what you're trying to tell people is essentially, man, can you believe with the Mario Kart scene they started playing Mario Kart music? Oh my god, we get it. It's almost like this is the Mario Kart scene. And everyone's like,
It's
yeah, Joe, this is the Mario Kart scene.
it's too much, man. It's just too much. I think the soundtrack was good. You're crazy. Those song choices were great. Oh my goodness.
I'm
I Need a
saying,
Hero
man.
song, maybe it's a little too much. I get it.
I forgot the other one, the one with DK, where the monkeys driving them to the Cranky Kong's temple, and they're driving through, and you're
Oh
seeing
my god, what was that? That song was fucking great.
It's one of those. And again, it's one of those 80s songs. I think it's like one of the what do they call it, synthwave songs. Shit, I forgot the name of it.
Oh my god. That's what I'm talking about. About like the song selection that isn't the sound, like the overall soundtrack was great. And I was scared because exactly what you said, like it's Illumination. They tend to choose like very cheesy, poppy songs. But the fact that they went to the song selections were 80s hits, I was like, yes, bro, what? That sounds great.
Oh yeah, the when DK's taking them through the. I remember now when DK's taking them through the.
Was that cool? What was it? Who was the guy with the shades?
That was just like a monkey.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like an actual.
They didn't show anybody. They showed it again with the great references. They also called it Kong Kingdom. I think that's what they call it, Kong Kingdom, when it's supposed to be called the Jungle Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but I got it. Kongs, whatever. They played "Take Me On" when the monkey's driving them through.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah. It was
Yes.
Take Me On. Great song
There you
choice.
go. I knew it, Joe. No,
Yes.
in the Mario Kart scene, wasn't it "Thunderstruck" by AC/DC?
Yes, but it's before the Thunderstruck. Oh my god.
Before.
Another great. Oh my, I'm leaving. I'm leaving, bro. Thunderstruck?
Okay.
Are you fucking
Joe,
oh my
I'm not. You're making it sound like everyone listens is like, wow, John doesn't like good music. These songs are classics and they're 10 out of 10s. I'm saying, in my kids movie or kids who are born like 3 years ago, you really think they're gonna be jumping out of the seats for I Need a Hero.
They'll do it for Thunderstruck, and if they don't, you can leave.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn by
Oh
Beastie
my
Boys.
god, no sleep. Bom, bom. Oh, come on, bro.
I will say one song that was great, even though the composer wasn't credited in the credits. The DK rap when DK comes out and he grabs his barrels and the DK rap is playing and like DK,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
And that was great. Seth Rogen said he like almost he was like, I demand the DK rap to be in it. He tried to put it somewhere or something. He's like, I need a DK rap somewhere in there. And they put it in
Yeah.
for his intro, which is great. But when you're seeing the credits and the credits scroll up and they're showing all the music tracks at the end of the movie, and it's just scrolling, right? And it's showing like Take Me On and the artist and the composer and all that stuff. And then you see DK rap and just in parentheses from Donkey Kong 64 and
Yeah.
doesn't credit Grant Kirkhope
It doesn't credit.
at all. And Grant Kirkhope
I'm
came out
gonna have
on
to,
Grant Kirkhope came out on Twitter and just said like he's not like complaining, but he's like, man, I really wish I saw my name on Mario movie because
I'm
when he heard
I'm gonna
Seth
have to take
Rogen
the whole point off this movie now. Are you
when he heard
serious?
Seth Rogen kind of like fight for the song, he was like, oh what like my song's in the movie, can't wait. And he was kind of like, oh damn.
Oh my god, what blasphemy, bro.
Wow, I'm on Wikipedia and it's showing the songs and titles and authors from the movie, like the soundtrack.
Hmm.
And it literally says like, like Take Me On by Aha and everything, Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Then it literally says DK Rap, Grant Kirkhope, parentheses uncredited.
Oh my god, that's terrible. That is
It just
fucking
says
awful.
from Donkey Kong 64. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Not
For
my
anyone who
game.
doesn't know, Grant Kirkhope is the composer for Rare, the company, and he did like GoldenEye 007.
Yeah,
He
not
did
only is he the composer, he's the composer of my childhood.
honestly, he's one of the greatest video game composers of all time because he also did Banjo Kazooie and Banjo 2. But he also did a bunch of other great shit. Anyways, back to the movie. More
So yeah,
pros.
more pros, the characters. Let's talk about the characters.
Come on, the Mario and Luigi. Let's talk about their arc, their
Their
dynamic.
dynamic, yeah.
Come on.
It's amazing. Oh my god. Like I said, it's so fucking close. That scene, this is why I love the first act of this movie, because it's setting up the theme. So Mario has parents and a whole family, a whole Italian family. That was like my favorite scene in the
Let's
movie.
get to that. What do you think about that?
I love that. Oh my god. As someone who's like knows Mario lore, but like it's not that important in the Mario games because
Hmm.
it's just Mario in the Mario Kingdom. I mean in the Mushroom Kingdom. We only get like snippets of like Mario's past. So seeing him have a family and it's like the most Italian family, like, and they're like busting his balls and shit. It's so. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah,
is so good.
it's
This is
the
so.
only time in the movie that it took me out,
Are you
just because
fucking?
Well, hold on. I was watching it. And I'm like, this is jarring. We've never, ever, ever seen anything about Mario's parents except for like maybe their feet in Yoshi's Island. We just saw
Yeah.
like, but it's always been like, I guess like maybe his parents, maybe I don't know. Just nobody cares. It's Mario. Video game lore. Whatever. Move on. So when I'm watching the movie and he's got a whole family, I was like, what the hell? Like this is kind of weird. But it definitely grew on me. And I do like this one tweet that some guy wrote, and I was like, that's amazing. He's like, if you were going into the Mario movie and seeing the Mushroom Kingdom and Koopas and power ups and everything, and the most unbelievable thing would be that Mario from an Italian family doesn't have a big family, then that would be the most
Yeah.
unrealistic thing ever.
Exactly.
Like, it's Italian, bro. He's gotta have a big family. What are you talking about?
It's everything about that
They
first act.
they
Is so
pitched the
good.
idea to me. They pitched the idea to me essentially in the movie, and I was like, "Really?" And then I kind of like grew on me. I was like, "Yeah, why not? Like, this dude's Italian. Come on, let's have a giant family. Let's do this." Like,
And,
now I want his family to be in the video games and shit, like mom and dad, fucking his
yeah.
pops
Oh
and
my
shit, like
god.
his characters. You know who plays his
And
pops voice?
who?
Charles Martinet.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Oh, you know
That's
what else would be cool too? Those designs. I think for the mom and dad. I don't know about everyone else, but designs for Luigi's mom and dad were straight up old designs that they had in Nintendo. They just never kind of like did anything with them.
no way. So they're actually
Yeah.
part of the
They're like
lore.
OG like lore that they've always just kind of like it's just a sketch. It's like an old sketch that they basically had in Nintendo headquarters that they never like something they drew and they were just kind of like if they ever did have parents, I guess we always pictured them like this, but they never really did anything. So when it came to putting them in the movie, they were like, "Oh, we have this," and they're like, "Cool, just you." I mean, they had Shigeru Miyamoto with them, so they were like, "Cool, we'll just do whatever you say."
Um, but back to what I was saying. The scene where he goes to his room, or no, when he's talking to his family and I don't know who, I think is his uncle or his brother or some Mario's
His
brother.
pops.
His pops, it's his pops. Oh my god, that's even worse. His pop says, it's not only bad that you're doing it, but you're dragging your brother down too. It's, I don't know why that hits so close to home. I was like, we're brothers and shit, I'm your older brother. So for me, that scene was
What?
like, yeah, I didn't want to say that in the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
Did
What?
you not did you not know that? Did you
Does
think they were
mom and
adopted?
dad know? I've been
uh,
calling them mom and dad this whole time, but I thought you were adopted.
but yeah, like the scene where he goes to his room and Luigi comes in, he's like, man, don't worry about them. They're just fucking tripping. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my god, that is the emotional tone of this movie. And just so that everyone's aware where I'm heading with this, it goes from positive to negative because Luigi is sidelined this entire movie. And I get it. At the end of the movie, they get together and they're the Super Mario Brothers. That should not have happened. Luigi should have escaped maybe the second act so that we have
Aren't you
the
being a
Mario
little?
Brothers. Am I being
Aren't you
biased?
being? Wait. You're being a little biased here. Who's your favorite? Not even your favorite Mario character, just one of your favorite video game characters of all time. I'm pretty sure it's a little green plumber with a little L on his hat.
It's Luigi time. I love Luigi, man.
No,
It's
that's fair. That's fair. I've seen that brought up. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm okay with Luigi being a damsel in distress because he's Luigi. I love the brotherly connection that they're like. They keep going back to it in the movie. It's Mario's arc essentially to always protect his brother, and they show that little baby Mario and baby Luigi scene where they're in the
oh my
playground.
god. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like,
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Christ. It's funny because, like, there's always that dilemma. That's why I don't play Mario Kart, to be honest. Because when it comes to the character select screen, I'm like, am I going to pick baby Luigi or am I going to pick Luigi? And every time it's like this inner conflict within me that I'm like, I'm just going to turn off the game because that's not fair.
They're too cute.
They're too cute, But no, like I said, the theme was that Mario can't do this without Luigi, and it loses that, I feel, because Mario at the end of the movie essentially doesn't need Luigi. They both get the power star at the end and they both save the day, but that theme of like Mario needs Luigi and Luigi needs Mario, they're the dynamic duo. And I think it kind of that would have made the movie way stronger, in my opinion. If there was that, there was that, like, I can't do this without him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. Talk about Peach.
Peach was so. I think Peach is the one that was like the most, because she has nothing in the video games. She is essentially like a blank slate. She is the damsel in distress. She is the constantly being rescued. She has very little dialogue. I think she had like one game, right?
Yeah, right.
And so to see her in this and to see her like
this Peach was awesome.
Great. Yeah, I was like,
oh my god.
It's not even
badass.
like she was like, it's not even like she was a badass. It was more like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
she was a character. Like,
she was
I know we've had Peach for like almost 40 years, and she's really just been the princess. This one's like fucking protecting her kingdom, protecting the Toads. She has to go back and like protect the kingdom when Bowser apparently poses to her. Like she's teaching Mario that training sequence, and then she does it on her own for first try. It was like she was awesome in the movie.
She was awesome, and just her like flat out like, why would I ever marry? Like that was like, ooh, she's got like spunk, bro. Like.
Not only that, but I also love how in the ending too, where she's not just kind of like waiting for Mario to save her. She kind of like gets a frozen flower and starts helping everyone else and starts like kicking ass and shit. I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is a great Peach, the great iteration of Peach. Just the facial animations of Peach's character, it's so funny looking. Bowser.
We gotta talk about the king.
I gotta say, Bowser is fucking evil in this. I remember watching it, like just watching the movie. I was like, holy shit! Like this dude is straight up. What was it that he did that I was like, that's a little. Good lord, man, that's messed up.
The piano.
Oh my, that piano scene. That was it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what? Like, just smashes it on his fingers. I'm like, oh my goodness. He sets that one dude on fire and he turns into dry bones. Hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Jack Black, absolutely. He's the star of this movie, and I love that was like Bowser's
arc.
Was that he just wants to marry,
or motive, yeah.
Motive, yeah. Was that he just wants to marry Peach like that?
Because he genuinely loves Peach, like
he genuinely, and I'm like, it's funny because that is exactly how what the games are,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that that was actually going to be the story, you know. And it's so cool that it is, you know,
Yeah.
that they didn't stray away from that, you know. Peaches,
That
peaches, peaches, peaches,
Peach, Peach,
peaches.
Peach. Oh my god. People are trying to nominate that for an Oscar.
It's funny because I heard before the movie that there's a Jack Black song in it that's really really good. I was like waiting for it because I was like, oh, it must be like a massive like this like beautiful rendition or something. And he
Yeah.
gets on the piano and he just starts singing peaches, peaches, and I'm like, that was the greatest.
It's so good.
But yeah, the characters are great.
Donkey
Anyone else?
Kong kind of like, wow, I love Donkey Kong. I feel like Donkey Kong is the one character that I feel like anyone would have taken the character and be like, oh, I know exactly what to do with Donkey Kong. Don't worry. He's Donkey Kong, whatever, right? I love the fact that they gave him this wanting approval from his father, being considered a joke to his father. And then they brought in the actual lore of the video games, the Mario and Donkey Kong always butting heads. Mario and Donkey Kong don't like each other. So they brought it into this movie that they fight each other and Mario wins. So they're always like butting heads in the movie. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Fuck yeah, dude. And then they kind of both have their moment where they're stranded in the ocean. And they're like realize that they're the same. Both of
Yeah.
them just want the respect that they believe they should get from the people they look up to, like their parents.
That I think that's where the movie themes of the movie kind of split, where they're like, no, this is the actual theme of the movie is approval from your parents. And I think that's like
Not maybe not the approval of your parents, but I guess not being considered a failure
worthy.
or a
Or
loser.
yeah, failure. Yeah.
Failure or a loser or something like that. Just want to prove to yourself and everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, Donkey Kong was great.
yeah.
But Seth Rogen's voice, amazing. Like even his laugh, I was like, oh my god, it fits so well with Donkey
Yeah.
Kong. Like I don't know what it is.
Oh, one more character I bring up that I actually really like. I hope they see more of him. I hope they bring him in the game. Is Foreman Spike? You know what that is?
Who's that?
He's the guy with the sunglasses at the beginning of the movie. He goes like, "Well, if it isn't the stupid Mario Brothers."
Oh yeah. Who the fuck was that guy? What an
That's
asshole.
that guy actually exists in Nintendo games.
No way.
Yeah, his name is Foreman Spike in the Nintendo games. You know the game Wrecking Crew?
Nah.
Yeah, there's an old NES game called Wrecking Crew, right?
Mhm.
And before Wrecking Crew was Donkey Kong, and Mario was Jumpman and Donkey Kong, whatever, right? But Mario was still just Jumpman. In Wrecking Crew, the main guy, the guy who runs the thing, is Foreman Spike. And in the game are people who look like Mario and Luigi and people who wear overalls and shit, right? So
Yeah.
he's their boss in this game. So then the Mario Brothers, this is actually like what actually happens. In the Mario Brothers, they spin off, they leave the Wrecking Crew and join and do their own thing called Mario Bros. But not the Super Mario Bros. But the this one. That game is just called Mario Bros.
Mhm.
And that's the one that's in the movie where they're just trying to do their own shit. They call themselves the Mario Brothers, and that's what it's until they go to the Mushroom Kingdom where it becomes Super Mario Bros. So
Mm.
Foreman Spike is an actual character from Nintendo games, and he is their boss. Who's like, these guys left me years ago and trying to say, what a bunch of idiots or some shit,
Wow. Stuff like that is what strengthens this movie even more for me. It's like, oh my god, that is attention to detail that,
This is why I'm bringing it up because I thought that was genius. Yeah, because I was like, wow, Foreman Spike is going to be in the movie. I heard he was going to be in the movie. I was like, why? And then I just saw what they did, and they're like, we're just going to do exactly what we established 30 years ago, that he was their boss, and then they did their own thing, So him
Yeah.
being their bully, their jerk, I
Yeah.
was like, that's perfect. Like, wow, look, his hat says
Wow.
Wrecking Crew.
So good.
So that was really
Wow.
smart. I like when they took like old lore like that and be like, yeah, we'll just use it for that. Also, Mario says to his pops, wow, what's with the outfits and the overalls? Like plumbers wearing gloves or some shit like that. And
That
Mario's-
like I said, that first act, I love that they're like, what's with the getup? And they're like, it gives us an identity. I love that.
Well,
part.
Mario also says, well, you got to stand out somehow. And people
Yeah.
pointed out that Mario only looks the way he does because when Shigeru Miyamoto made him, he only made him so you can point out what he looks like. So his
Yeah.
hat is his hat, his eyes here. You can see his mustache, overalls, his arm. You know what I mean? Like the spray. So
Yeah.
you can literally make out what he actually looks like. So when they ask him, what's with the overalls and gloves? He's like, oh, I got to stand out somehow. It's literally the
Yeah.
motive that Shigeru Miyamoto. I was like, wow, that was really smart.
God, what a deep cut. Oh my
Yeah.
god. What did you think about your favorite character? We talked about Luigi. Let's talk about Toad.
Toad. I love Toad. I thought Michael
Yeah.
Keaton. Not Michael Keaton. Sorry. Keegan Michael
Keaton.
Peele.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I was like Did they lower his voice or something? That's a really good
I honestly want to
Toad.
see him. I want to see the video of him doing Toad's voice because I
Yeah,
it's
wow.
insane to me that he's doing the Toad voice.
I
I like
I've seen some people kind of like rag on Toad that he didn't do much in the movie and all that stuff, and I can kind of like I get it, but I love Toad and any scene with him I was like it's Toad, it's awesome, this is so funny, and every joke of him is essentially just being like let's do this, I'm ready because he's tiny, he's like the guy gave him a personality somehow,
yeah.
but I'm okay with him just kind of being in the background, just helping Peach, like I don't think he needed like a big. He's Toad, he's just supposed to be by
Yeah.
Peach's side and always. I do like the part where the two guards won't let him in, won't let
Yeah.
Mario in, and he's like, "I got this," and then he takes out a pot and just starts cooking for them and everything. He's like, "Yeah, what you guys want?" And everything. That was fun.
Yeah.
Just saying, Toad was awesome.
Toad was awesome. But yeah, it's just like all the characters in this movie are fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. There was one character that I was like, "Oh shucks." Remember the scene where Peach is talking about they're having the meeting in the castle and all the toads are there, and she's like, "We gotta
Oh
go."
my yes. That should have definitely been.
The blue toad there has like a really deep voice. He's kind of like their general toad or some shit.
Yeah.
Concept art came out, and that was Toadsworth. One of my all-time favorite Mario characters is like this really old toad-looking guy who's kind of has like he's an adorable old-looking toad guy with a cane. And they had him in the concept art for the original movie, but then they took him out. They also had Toadette there too. They took him out. They took her out too. So I was like,
Why?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There was also some other characters. I think Birdo got cut too. They were concept art to Birdo, I think. Yeah, let's talk about that Rainbow Road scene.
That was incredible.
That looked I was you talked about being in an audience empty. I went, the week of the movie coming out, like on a Friday.
Yeah.
I went on a Wednesday night.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I went like extreme. I had a ticket stupid early. Mario, I love Mario so much. I was like, I've been bought a ticket, but I went to a packed theater, huge packed theater, and that Rainbow Road scene. A majority of the time when we're watching the movie, yeah, the audience are like, ooh and ah, whatever. I remember Road scene, the entire theater was like, holy whoa. That Rainbow Road scene looks amazing. That's one of the best animated things in a movie I've seen in a long time. That looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Just that whole sequence
Yeah.
was brilliant.
Except from that Toad guy. Except when that Koopa gets hit and he comes out and he
Oh
has the
yeah, that was
big
weird.
blue shell and he screams blue shell and goes after them, which I was like, could have just done it. You don't need to say what you're gonna do. Like this is like an anime or something. Like
Yeah.
just do the blue shell. We all know what the blue shell is. Don't
Or someone
announce
picking
it.
him up and throwing it.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Uh
Did you like the rainbow? Did you like that scene? What'd you think about Rainbow Road scene?
I thought the scene was great. Like it was visually stunning. But yeah, I don't remember much from it, weirdly enough.
I guess I just mean like, yeah, because there's not much like dialogue going on. It just looks like it's just an awesome Mad Max race, and the
Yeah.
animation and Mario jumping on Koopas and throwing the Koopas behind him and shit like that. And they also have the zero gravity moment where Peach like turns off her zero gravity.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like
that was
upside
cool.
down and then flies down. Oh, it's fucking cool.
There's
So
like
cool.
30 moments in this movie where I'm like, oh, they're gonna fall to their death, and then I forget that the carts have wings on them. I'm like, oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the third act.
Okay.
Oh my god. I love that the Luma, is that what it's called?
Oh man, that Luma! I forgot. I can't believe we went this long round talking about it. That Luma was. I actually want more humor like that. I love
That
dark humor, so
yeah.
a Luma just being like, "Yay, brutal torture!" Like that's
Yeah.
so funny to me. And then they stop it from falling in the lava. Boo, mercy.
Boo.
I love that. I want to see more of that Luma. Like, that shit's funny to me.
I just find it so funny because like out of all the cute toads and there's cute characters, the cutest one of all is like so ready to die.
That's so good.
That is
That's so
so
funny.
fucking funny,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, honestly.
Oh my god. But yeah, the third act, Bowser wants to, he's doing the whole wedding thing.
Wedding, yeah.
And at this point, things are just moving, man. You're like, okay, Mario and Donkey Kong are stranded in the ocean. How did they get out of the whale again? Oh yeah, Donkey Kong does
They have the rocket barrel from his cart.
oh
I
yeah.
believe they power it up and then they land in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then they have one of the dopest Mario like parkouring scenes I've ever seen of Mario and Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong gets the fire flower and Mario gets the mushroom. And it's like a scene out of the video game. They're just stomping Koopas, jumping on it, like jumping up and down. That was
Oh yeah, that was dope. Forgot all about that.
Yeah. Mario does
Um,
like a butt slam and everything. I know what you mean when you forget it because the movie runs so fast. Like it
that's
really
my
does.
thing. It's like
Like you
I'm
don't have enough time for stuff to breathe.
that's why I love the first act of this movie because it's very slow, like very like introductory. Like these are the
Yeah.
characters. It's the real world, but the characters are great, and you're slowly learning. And then it just fucking like pedal to the metal,
Yeah.
and like you know. But yeah, I
Bowser, yeah, and then
completely
Bowser's winning.
forgot what happens. Like completely can't. I'm drawing a blank because
Bowser's about to marry Peach, and then all the cameos like King Boo and King Babam was there, my boy.
yeah, dude, what? Wow, what a
I think I was the only one to make. I legit. I was probably the only one in the theater to make a like audible gas. Like I was like, they just show the scene and they're showing all the characters. See King Babam. I fucking love King Babam, and I
oh
saw him.
my
I was like,
god.
oh, I literally like did like a gas like in the theater. I was probably the only one that were people like, you okay, bro? Like I was like, yo, I would have never put money that King
Yeah,
Babam's gonna make a cameo.
King
Like what?
Bob's gonna make and King Boo. That was so fucking
Yeah, that
funny,
was
bro.
awesome too.
Wow, what an awesome scene that what it was.
Yeah. And
Um,
then Peach gets the the ice flower and breaks
yes,
out, and she starts helping Mario and Donkey Kong, and they're trying to. Bowser's going to lower Luigi and everyone else into the lava, and then they stop it.
I think this is the point in the movie where I was like, "Where the fuck is Luigi?" Like, I was so mad that he was like completely like sidelined in the movie.
Then Bowser sends in a bonsai bullet bill, this huge bullet bill to like blow up. I think the Mushroom Kingdom, just to strip the castle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
And
remember that now.
Mario, yeah, he has like a giant bullet bill. It's like a giant like bonsai bill to blow up the entire Mushroom Kingdom. I think it was. And then Mario sweeps in with the Tanuki suit. He's flying around, and I was like, oh shit, it's
That's
Tanuki.
so cool.
And then he hits bonsai bill and like in the eye with the Tanuki tail, and it starts
Yeah.
following him. So then he leads it to Brooklyn, which that
Yeah.
kind of was weird. That's the moment of the movie I was like, what the hell?
It kind of makes sense because I think they would build New Donk City.
Oh, good point.
You know what
Like
I'm
it
saying?
would, yeah, like there's like,
Like both worlds are starting to bleed into each other. You know,
oh, that'd
maybe
be cool.
they're
I
in.
would like that. Yeah, Pauline
Yeah.
makes a cameo, so that's awesome.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, she's like the actual mayor of Brooklyn. And then the third act in Brooklyn.
And then the third act is we
Well,
finally
not
get the
in,
Super
in not
Mario
Brooklyn, but
Brothers
let me tell you
being the
something.
Super Mario Brothers.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That is my favorite scene in the entire movie. Is Mario? He doesn't know if he can go out there and face Bowser, and then he goes out there and faces Bowser, and then just gets his ass handed to him. And Bowser like throws like a giant fire blast and everything, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then someone saves him, and I was like, "What the fuck saves him?" And it's fucking Luigi, his brother.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Bro, we got this because we're the Super Mario Brothers." And then they get the bro, they get the Power Star, and then the Power Star music starts to play. Fucking
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. They're like glowing, it's all rainbow. Bowser like gives him a kick. They're like invincible, doesn't even hit him. And they do like an anime punch to him. He goes flying, and then it just turns into fucking the Super Mario Brothers, like them jumping and bouncing around and kicking ass. I was like, that was the greatest fucking video game cinematic moment ever. Like that was so actually got me choked up. Like I was actually like this. I wanted this the entire movie, just more Mario music, more like
More Mario Brothers. Yeah.
yeah, like it was. Well, not only that, but like that scene is where probably critics were watching it and going, "What the fuck is happening?" Like I don't get it. And I'm here like, you know what the writers did? The writers like, boom, this is for the Mario Brothers. I mean, this is for the Mario fans. Get out if you don't get what's going on. Like the Mario Brothers get the Invincibility Star and then beat the shit out of Bowser. And they fucking throw him away into the fucking green shell and shit. I mean, the green tube. It was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
That again, it's that scene is so earned. And in a perfect movie, the way I see it, that is exactly the ending that I wanted, where Luigi comes in and it's both of them. The
What
Super
did you
Mario
think about
Brothers.
that? I was like, I saw that scene. I'm like, well, Joe's gonna be doing a backflip in the theater. Like Luigi comes in and saves Mario. Like I was like, oh man.
You know, I think it would have worked. It works as I dug it, but I think it would have worked even better if they really played up that Luigi is too scared to do anything.
Well, he had that whole thing in the first act with the dog,
Yeah, but it's never like
which is also criminally insane that they didn't put the duck hunt dog for that dog. But
oh yeah.
okay, it also
Too
looks like
many
a
cameos, too
dog.
many cameos.
It also looks like a dog from another Illumination movie. It doesn't even look like it belongs in a Mario movie. That dog really
Yeah,
took me out. I was like, that's just like a normal
yeah.
dog. Whatever, keep going.
If it would have played out that Luigi was too scared to get out there, even though he sees his brother stand up and go out there and fight Bowser,
He
and
runs away in
that's
a dumpster,
who.
Luigi.
What do you mean runs away in a dumpster?
Like when Bowser's just destroying everything, and
Hmm.
Mario's like in the Punch Out diner, or whatever, the Punch Out Pizzeria, I think.
Yeah.
Luigi runs away into a dumpster, like hides in it.
See these are moments where they should have cut back to Luigi, and he's absolutely terrified. There's more like it's this is what I'm saying about like it's so close. It's so close. If we'd had a scene where, and even earlier on, being like where Luigi says like something along the lines of like because the fact that Luigi's scared is kind of like not really showcased in this movie. I think there's one line where Mario's like, "You really got to stop being scared of stuff," and they
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
like put it away. I would that would have been a great arc for Luigi, but in this movie, there's no real arc to Luigi because he's the damsel.
Yeah, yeah. You don't see too much of it. So the moment of him being courage and like standing up is like doesn't feel that much just because he's been sidelined the entire movie. So
Yeah, so that scene
I
where he
don't.
comes back and he saves Mario, great scene, would have been strengthened if they really played up the Luigi's a coward and he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't,
That's fair. But also,
uh
fuck you. That scene was amazing.
that scene was great.
Scene
Absolutely.
was fucking awesome. And you know what else? You know what else? You know what fucking else, Joe? They were gonna put "Jump" by Van Halen. Dun, 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 dun. You know the song
Oh yeah, yeah.
"Jump," like the actual fucking. They were gonna
Mhm.
put that in the movie, and then someone else like, no, let's put a Mario song, like a fucking Mario song, and then they put in the Invincibility song, the
Oh
dun dun
my
dun
god.
dun 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 dun.
I'd
Dun.
have I'd have flipped my shit if they didn't put that the power up song.
Well, they were gonna put fucking Van Halen. They were gonna put another '80s song that I was like, why would you do that? Kids are not gonna. Why? That's random. And they were like,
Yeah.
no, we put in the fucking music for Mario,
Yes.
and then it was badass. It was the coolest. Man, that scene was awesome.
Good job on them. Absolutely. Yeah. Talking about the movie as a whole, I think I gave it too much flack. I can kind of see what you're saying. Like
I
this
I think you
might
need to see it
be
again. I think you need to see it again. I
yes,
don't mean that.
yes.
I don't mean that in a sense of like shooting, get it as if it's some highbrow music. No, it's because I totally understand you, Joe. You watch the movie and it was just running. This movie's so fast. You have no time to breathe. And you're like, I guess that was the arc, maybe? You know what I mean? Like now that the movie's been out for like I think 3 weeks, man, I've been seeing trailers and I'm just saying I seeing other people's opinions and what they're talking about and stuff. And I've been so like I was in a similar boat to you when I was coming out of the movie, thinking that was okay. I
Yeah,
wanted I wanted like a really deep story kind of like, thing, which is warranted. I'm not saying that this movie doesn't need that. Yes, I want like a really good written, deep, emotional story because we've seen other animated movies do that. But coming out of it, started thinking like there's nothing wrong with playing it safe in your first round. I don't know. Obviously, there can be more movies, but I'm not saying that like if they make a sequel or something like that, right? I would definitely want them to hone in more on some better writing and some better arcs for some characters. Not to say you need to write some fucking Shawshank Redemption, just something more emotional, more,
yeah. Christ, what were we talking about before this?
that you need to watch the movie again and you were changing your
Oh
mind a
yeah,
little bit.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I literally saw this movie yesterday.
That was great. I'm hoping someone, whoever's listening to this podcast, maybe thinking, man, Joe, it must have been a couple. Joe can't remember a lot of stuff. Like it was maybe because John said he watched it like a couple weeks ago. He might watch it like a week ago or something. Joe was like, it's been 6 hours.
Yeah, and it's just like you said. It's like it's so fast. It's so fast, and there's a lot
Mhm.
going on. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm okay with it playing it safe. Like I said, the third act it works. I always want the third act to be emotionally fulfilling, and this movie, the third act is just fulfilling. It's not emotionally fulfilling, and I get it. It's a kids movie. This is
Great
Super
analogy.
Mario's. Yeah.
Hey, that was good.
I'll take it. John rarely gives me credit.
All right, I thought we got ourselves a Robert Ebert over here.
Yeah, and but for what it was, like this is a great starting point. it only scares me because Illumination is they make kids
Illumination.
movies. Yeah, they make kids movies, and they're not really known for like they're Pixar. They're not like Pixar level storytelling here.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing the success of this movie, maybe it is. Maybe this is the awakening of video game movies. Like maybe it because Spider-Man 1 isn't a fucking masterpiece in storytelling. What it did right was that it followed.
You got the characters right.
It got the characters right, and they got the and it stuck to the source material.
Yeah.
And people loved it. And then we got Spider-Man 2, which is like the greatest comic book movie of all time.
All time.
Of all time.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Listening to this podcast. Spider-Man 2 is the greatest movie of all time. Don't shake your head like, oh, Civil War or Winter Soldier or Endgame. Best superhero movie of all time.
But yeah, maybe the sequel to this movie, and this is what I hope they do, because I was gonna say I took an entire point off for this movie because they didn't play my favorite Mario song, and I'm really tight about it. Which was the Super Mario World ending song, and I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe that's the title for the sequel, Super Mario World.
Did you stay after the end credits?
Yes,
all the way at the end.
All the way. And now I was thinking about it, I was like, they never gave him the cape. Yoshi never showed up. Well, there's a short of Yoshi's, but actual Yoshi,
Yeah, like actual Yoshi. They also did show the cape, but it's in the commercial.
Yeah.
He's like sitting down on a stoop, on a chair, I guess, and he's just like, it's like a little red cape as if he's flying. Great.
Yeah.
My audience, when everyone left for the theater, and again, my audience, like a lot of laughs, like, people cheering and stuff. Not like a big Avengers kind of, just a regular movie-going experience, laughing. Right? The ending was probably the only time my entire theater where I saw it. It's the end credits where it's going through the sewers and everything, and they show the Yoshi egg. The minute they show the Yoshi egg, I just had like a thought in my head going like, "Oh, of course!" Like Yoshi's the sequel guy. Like, come on, he's like the guy. So just that thought went in my head. I was like, "Oh, good." All the little kids, Yoshi, like crazy. Like the kids went like, "It's Yoshi!" Like. Kids love Yoshi. So my Nintendo, I know exactly that was Shigeru Miyamoto. Shigeru Miyamoto was like, Yoshi's not going to be in this movie because he's going to be in the sequel because Yoshi is always the sequel. It's like literally like Super Mario World, fucking Super Mario Sunshine, the sequel to the 64 is where they added Yoshi, New Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2, like they always add Yoshi to the sequel. And it always sells more than the original, no matter what. Yoshi's the selling sequel boy. And then putting Yoshi in there, I'm like, oh my God, when this first trailer comes out for the sequel, when they eventually do make a sequel for this movie, because of course, Yoshi's going to sell this movie.
This movie is the perfect jumping stone for a sequel. But my only thing is the sequel needs to be better written.
Correct.
And God, I hope I hope the pacing is a little bit slower. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. But
Yeah. No. I think come on, like we said, we've established that there have been other animated movies that have a good flow and pacing to it and have emotional beats and kids love it, I think a great example that people put up is the Lego movie. The Lego movie is like the prime example I think everyone can go for where I know Pixar is a great one too, and some other Disney movies, but you can do that, And I absolutely agree. I would love better writing.
It's strange because this movie, I was before the movie was starting, I was watching the trailers for the previews. I was like, oh my God, I'm so ready. Like I'm about to watch a kids movie. Like I was just like dreading it, and
then your back started hurting, and you had to pick up your cane.
Yeah.
And then your nurse came and helped you, and she kind of like gave you a lip, and she was like, "Don't worry, we're almost there, buddy. We're almost there, Gramps." And Joe was like, "I don't. The movie's too loud.
Get off my lawn.
The movie's too loud."
And because I watched the Sonic 2, and I can't get past the first act of the movie. It is just a pure, like, that movie is just a kid's movie. And it, like, every time I watch it, I'm like, this is excruciating to watch. I can't watch that movie. I don't know what it is. The first act of that movie, I'm always like, Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen it yet. I have to see it. It's on my watch list.
But watching this movie, never had that feeling. So strange. Like, never had the feeling like that I was watching a kid's movie. I don't know what it was. So I was like, oh, this is funny. This is like, the characters are great. There's never stupid like fart jokes or corny jokes or you know what I'm saying? Like,
because it's just fun. Like,
or like weird poppy music from like the 2000s, it's just a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
It took me this entire podcast to say it's a good movie.
All right, well, if we have to leave it somewhere else, we have to talk about what can they do for the sequel, or at
Yeah,
least who can be in the sequel.
yeah. Let's wrap it up with that one.
Who
You
would
go
you want to see in the
first.
sequel? Well, come on, buddy. We gotta see Wario and Waluigi in this bitch.
Oh my god, you're so right.
There is a tease that there's a Luma in the movie, and Peach even says there's a whole universe out there filled with a bunch of galaxies, and you can't say the word galaxy in a Mario movie without us trigger into one of Joe's favorite games of all time, Super Mario Galaxy.
Man,
So there could be a tease for a sequel to them going to space and maybe Rosalina.
please don't put Rosalina in the sequel.
Why not? It's fucking Rosalina.
Rosalina is a perfect trilogy movie. Like that's the perfect character to put in the third movie. Like in the
Oh, okay,
sequel,
okay. Yeah, I mean they're
like
going to space. That's as epic as they can get.
yeah, Super Mario World should focus on, I guess, the worlds. And you know what? Thinking about it now, Rosalina actually kind of does fit in the sequel. But I think she'd be a character who kind of overtakes the movie,
Yeah.
plot
Well,
wise.
we didn't see Yoshi's Island. Like we didn't see the Dino Land. You know what I mean? So we can
See
go there.
that's what I want. It's like I want like maybe she's the arbiter of like the different worlds. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? She's like the one who's like there is a Yoshi kingdom and there's a
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
you know what I'm
Well,
saying? I
there's
could
also
kind of see that.
Princess Daisy.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think they'll ever. Daisy's so like she's so not utilized in any of the games that I'm
So
like I almost fear like they'll
some people
never
say that
use.
about Waluigi. Some people say like, man, they should have a sequel. They should have a Wario Waluigi. And everyone's like, man, the people out there that actually believe that Nintendo's even going to consider writing the name Waluigi on a script at all is baffling to them because Nintendo loves Wario, but could not care less Waluigi. So I would not put it past them to be like, Wario's the main bad guy in the sequel, and only Wario. And Daisy
Yeah.
shows up, and they gotta help her, some shit like that. It's like, where's Waluigi? Who cares?
Yeah.
Which I disagree. I would love Waluigi Wario, but I truly think Nintendo would be like, why?
Yeah, that would be kind of like plot of the sequel is Warrior and Waluigi teaming together and trying to be nefarious and like trying to one up the Mario
Something
brothers.
greedy or something.
Something greedy. But at the end of the day, they're a family, son. You always stick
Mm.
with family. I hope Daisy's a dork.
I hope
Like
Daisy's not a
like
badass, but
like
stubborn,
I hope Daisy's like straight up like just
like Velma or
she's
something.
like she's a princess, but she's like a total dork. Like
A dork, as in what? Like Velma?
no, not as Velma, just like klutzy and like goofy and like doesn't give a fuck that she's a princess, you know? Because that's how I
Okay.
always saw Daisy. Daisy to me is like she's the goofiest one out of everybody, and
Hmm.
she doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. She's just Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah, if they had to give Daisy a personality, I would hope that like you said, like it would be a more brash kind of like princess. Very much like a I'll do whatever I want to do kind of character. And you couldn't care less of her being a princess, I guess you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's very loud.
Who's the
Um
villain? Bring back Bowser?
I would actually have it where Bowser works with Mario and the gang to stop maybe Wario.
Oof. Man, I don't know about that.
Oh, you're gonna have to have Jack Black somewhere. You're gonna have to have Jack
Yeah,
Black.
you're gonna have to put
Yeah.
Bowser's obviously coming back, but it's
Yeah.
who does Bowser team up with is what I want to know. That'd be fucking
Well, there's a lot
fascinating.
of people who want this, and I was like, this is never gonna happen. Which I know we're mega fans of. They want the sequel to be Delfino Plaza because they have to introduce Bowser Jr.
Oh, that's the fucking sequel, bro. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. Oh my god. Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings?
Yeah,
Oh my god. Absolutely, bro.
to get revenge with Bowser. But my only
It's
thing
a
is,
family v family. Oh my god. It's Bowser's family versus
listen, that
Mario's
sounds
family
cool. Yes, I agree. And I
and
know that
Bart.
sounds like the most.
Oh my
I,
god.
but you can't do Bowser Jr. without doing Delfino. I want Delfino, and I want Shadow Mario, and I want the paintbrush. All right, I want these things. Come on, I want these things, please. Because I obviously, if I know Nintendo or anyone else, I'd be like, just introduce Bowser Jr. Don't worry, you don't have to explain it. He's just there, and he's got the Koopalings. Koopalings aren't family though; they're not Bowser's children. They're
Yeah,
Koopalings are just the friends of Bowser Jr.
but that's
They
as
were,
close as you get to
yeah,
family, man.
they're working with him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
My thing would be that
But I want Delfino.
yeah, that would be so cool. We're never gonna get it, but that would be so cool. It's Wario and Waluigi, and they're like fucking over their own family to get with to help Bowser. But then maybe towards the end,
You keep
they
saying family. I actually don't know if Wario is related to Mario. Is he?
isn't he his cousin?
I I actually don't know. I think Wario and Waluigi are related, but
Oh, I always
And
assumed they were
Mario and
cousins.
Luigi aren't related to Wario. At least I think so. God, I don't even know. I would have to check. I mean, I'm googling it right now.
Yeah, Google that.
No, they're not. Who is Mario's cousin? Nope.
So Wario's not related to him at all.
Wario's not related to Mario or Luigi, but is Wario related to Waluigi? Wow, no. Wario and are Wario and Luigi brothers. Like Wario and Waluigi, it also says they are old adversaries of the Mario Bros. But not distant relatives to Mario and Luigi. Waluigi is just a friend to Wario. Wow.
That could kind of even work too, because I could totally see Wario and Waluigi opening up a separate plumbing company to try and outdo the Mario Brothers.
Oh, that's smart.
And they're like, they
I
have the
think
same
that's
getup,
good.
they have the
Yeah.
same gloves, and they're like, "Hey, you're ripping off of us." It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like eating
Yeah,
his
that's
garlic.
good. That's good. But that's good. And their prices are through the roof, like way too expensive.
They're
Because
like straight
Wario's
up,
like,
super greedy.
hey, that's really go. If they do that, you heard it here first, people. If Wario and Luigi open up their own plumbing in the Brooklyn, New York, or whatever it is in the New Dunk City or some shit, and they're just greedy or some shit, and the villain is Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings, come on,
Yeah,
that one's free, Nintendo.
We nailed it.
Just like, and also obviously Yoshi's in the movie, but
Yeah.
I guess it could make sense if they keep playing in the Mushroom Kingdom, because they have that montage where they're just going through the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're seeing you're seeing the Yoshis, and then you're seeing the Sand Kingdom, the upside down pyramid place.
Yeah.
They show it really quickly, so we haven't gotten to all the Mushroom Kingdom places. So I guess you can keep playing in this world, but I think you can have a blast if Mario goes tropical.
That would be
please.
So cool. And it's so funny because they showed the Super Mario World as the map.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. I was like, yeah.
My favorite Easter egg was Mario's phone being the GameCube sound.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, what?
There's a shop next to, which I was like, thank you. There's a shop next to, which I think is the that big apartment that wants them to do their plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shop next to it, and I think it's called like Sunshine Laundry or something like that. And it straight up shows a Sunshine Sprite.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh, any love to Sunshine. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's my favorite Mario game of all time.
All right. One last thing, and we're on this podcast. Are we going to see other Nintendo properties as movies?
Wow. I was going to say that, but I was going to say an even bigger hypothetical. Do you think we're getting a Super Smash Brothers at the end of this?
Okay.
Now, granted, Super Smash Bros. Is the Avengers level threat. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Avengers movie. And for that,
the NCU.
The NCU, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. But for that, you'd have to, we'd have to see Legend of Zelda and Metroid and everybody, Pikachu, Pokemon, all the stuff. It's a huge hypothetical, but do you think that's where they're heading, or do you think it's just
okay?
We're just making
obviously. Not only has the internet and myself and a lot of people have thought of that. There's no doubt, especially now, how much this movie's making. There's no doubt in my mind that when they were making this movie, that idea was definitely thrown around somewhere, somehow on the table. Like, hey, we're doing this Mario movie, and it's successful. If it's really successful, maybe we could do a sequel. At least they're thinking of maybe like a sequel to the movie. This movie being this successful, there's no doubt in my mind right now. Everyone's scrambling to like a Mario Bros. Movie 2. Nope, I got a Donkey Kong movie ready. A Yoshi movie ready, Legend of Zelda, maybe Kirby, and especially Metroid. Like, I know Illumination, I guess, and Universal are probably like just so ready to do more movies and shit. I don't know if Nintendo is down to do more movies, but I know they're down to do. Actually, no. Shigeru Miyamoto actually came out this week and said he was genuinely surprised at how big this movie did. Shigeru Miyamoto's not a story guy, and we know that for years. He's big, no on story. But it was only a couple years ago where they finally be like, let's branch out. Let's do something. Let's do something with this fucking properties and branch out to just not just video games, other medias. So him coming out and be like, oh, I guess there is something here. That's the story of Nintendo for the past 100 years that Nintendo's been around, is them essentially saying, let's try this one thing, and then it becomes huge, and they're like, I guess this is big. It's like, yes, we've been telling you this for, So he is surprised to see the success of the movie, there's no doubt in my mind that now Shigeru Miyamoto, and you gotta remember, it's not just Illumination and Universal working on this movie. They straight up hired Nintendo. It's like the guy that made Mario is helping make the Mario movie. And this is exactly the formula you need for more video game adaptations to be awesome. Get the people who actually make the games or in the work on the material. So if Shigeru Miyamoto sees the success in this, he's like, all right, I gotta start writing on some Zelda or maybe Pikmin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's definitely gonna be more. There's definitely gonna be more Nintendo movies. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes. I think for sure, from my point of view, I genuinely hope they're not planning a cinematic universe. They take it a step at a time. There's no need to rush this. If that is the end goal, I hope I hope it's not even planned, because honestly, I think around this point, you just want to put out good movies. If you want to put out a Donkey Kong movie and that's good, boom, you got a Donkey Kong movie that's good, and you got a Mario movie that's good, then do Pokemon. But don't come out and say you're building a cinematic universe, because that's going to lead to failure, I think, in my point of view.
We're also underestimating the idea that this is animated, guys. Like the idea of like a Super Smash Bros. Movie, coming down the pipeline is like, yeah, this movie's gonna come 10 years from now because this is animation takes a long fucking time, guys. It isn't like Marvel when they made 2 movies a year,
Exactly. But man, would I want to see a Super Smash Bros. Movie with a good plot and really good writing? Oh my god, that'd be so cool to see. As of right now, man, I'd much rather they just put out really good movies. I'd much rather they just come out with Super Mario World and then Super Mario Galaxy and just have a string of movies that are good before thinking of 10 years down the line trying to make everything connect and stuff like that. And also, these are animated kids movies. They should be treated like fun joyrides, not something like, oh, now we have to like interject a Link, and what's Link doing? It's like, dude, no, like
you know what I would pitch? Because I just thought about this and I was like, I wouldn't want a Smash Bros. Movie because exactly what you said, all the same things you said. It's gonna feel too rushed, and I just want to be in the renaissance of good video game movies to stick around long enough before we start milking it or just start doing more properties of like video game stuff that don't have the quality that that should be made with them. So if we just start making shit to make shit because we want to rush it, like no. So I agree. I don't want a Super Smash. I would. It'd be cool, but I wouldn't want it just because I just want more video game adaptations.
Absolutely.
But like I said, if they can make more video game adaptations, this is Universal and Illumination teaming up with Nintendo. I think it'd be pretty cool if Nintendo teamed up with Universal and not Illumination, maybe their live action production. Because Universal does make live action movies. They make Godzilla and Lionsgate and shit like that. They have other properties. It'd be cool if we can get like a Legend of Zelda movie that's live action.
Yeah, honestly, I think
I don't think, because Mario works in animation. I mean, come on, no one's gonna go to the Mushroom Kingdom live action because they know they have to work live action. But some of the other Nintendo properties can work in live action. I think you can have Mario and Kirby cartoon. Mario and Kirby be cartoons. Pikmin can be a cartoon and stuff like that. But live action could. And I'm not saying this isn't building up to a Smash Bros. Just singular stories and properties where you can have animated movies and then live action ones like The Legend of Zelda or Metroid or Pokemon. I know we have Detective Pikachu, but like an official one done working with Nintendo and Game Freak could. I don't see why that can't be an option.
I 100% agree. Take your time. Just put out good movies, especially Legend of Zelda, which I think it could work animated. It could. Yeah, that's a whole different podcast. Oh my god. It could work live. It could work live action. And it could work animated. And who knows? Maybe they think like everything needs to be animated, and they don't go the route live action. I think that'd be a travesty, but that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
Overall, I think, just to get back to this movie, yeah, I completely agree. I changed my mind. This is a great first.
Yeah. The movie can be a great movie. It's just not amazing.
Yeah. This is exactly Spider-Man 2002. It's like, now it's just let's make Spider-Man 2 now,
Yeah. What would you give this movie out of 10?
Out of 10, 8.5.
That was gonna be mine. I wouldn't say 8.5. Probably just an 8.
Wow, you went lower. 8.5. I think it works as a movie and it works as a kids movie. It's fun, it's enjoyable. The story is thin, but it doesn't hinder the movie. And I think I gave it an extra 0.5 just because everything you said with them sticking to the lore and those really deep cuts, I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Anybody else who was doing this movie wouldn't have put the boss from Wrecking Crew. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly.
That's insane. But yeah, that shit like that is what makes me think like, man, this was done with love, folks.
You know what? Yeah, I agree. 8.5. 8.5. Just for the fact of the dedication and 8.5 just for the fact that Illumination teamed up with Nintendo and was like, guys, we can't fuck this shit up.
Yeah.
Like it's the most serious I've ever seen Illumination ever. They must have got that phone call from Nintendo and be like, "Hey, we want to make a Mario movie," and they're like they probably spit out their coffee and was like they must have been like shaking, like what? And like, oh yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto is going to be in your office next week, and they must have been like, you know what I mean?
As an animator, I can't even imagine being tasked with, hey, you gotta animate Luigi now. It's like, do you think the mouth is right here? Because I swear to God, I'd have a panic attack every motion. I'd be like, no, this is too much. Maybe I'm ruining it. Like,
not only that, but they also have to redesign characters that have been in our heads for like 30 years. You know what I mean? Exactly the way they look. So no, it's so true. So true. Also, the promotion for the movie, the having little Mario directs and showing off the trailers and stuff like that was great too.
Yeah, brilliant.
Illumination, Illumination and Universal killed it. Keep it up, man. Universal, honestly, keep this shit up, man. You guys are killing it so far.
You guys got a $1 billion hit.
Wow, I'll end it with that. What is it with Mario and Nintendo always being the ones to start everything? The video game crash, and then Super Mario Bros. The NES comes out. Fuck, video games are awesome again. Like everyone buying video games because Super Mario Bros. And then we're in this weird polygonal 3D era. Like no one knows how to do 3D. Super Mario 64 comes out. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is 3D. This is what it is in the future. You know what I mean? Like Mario is setting the foundation, and then the movie again. Like Mario is the guy to always set the trends of like the formula. Because that's what everyone's waiting for. That's what Hollywood is waiting for. Everyone can see Spider-Man and see the formula. Like, oh, I get it. Secret identity and all that stuff. Now they're seeing the Mario movie and being like, oh, where's the formula? I can figure it out. It's like, Mario keeps doing this. I mean, Nintendo keeps doing it. Just keep setting the foundation with this guy.
Yeah, he's the king, man. He is the king of video games.
Mr. Video Game.
Mr. Video Game. Mario. They did it, folks.
Well, that'll do it for this podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Say it later, Joe.
Oh, I missed.
That's good. That's good.